chance to beat the pandemic and join forces with Flippy. Become a cyborg and ascend to godhood in your own personal techno paradise. This is a great advertisement for Flippy and the technocracy. Thank you very much.
Are you ready to become cyborg?
There it is. Beautifully done.
There you
Okie
go.
dokie.
That's all the art. That's all the producers for episode 347. Thank you very much.
Very well done. Thank you, all producers. And remember, you can produce the show in plenty of ways. We'll talk about that more at the end of the show. But thank you for keeping the show going. And again, if you're out there, make sure to say a little prayer for the producers. They are the ones taking responsibility for their own media future and making it happen for the rest of us. We cannot do it without them, whether it's financially or with the wonderful content. We value our producers so highly. You guys are the best. I just want to do a quick plug for canarycry.community. That's our non-Facebook social media that everybody should go join. Maybe you're trying to disconnect from the social media empire of the world. Canarycry.community is a great place to connect with other Canarians just like you. They run a pretty, producer Smiley runs a pretty tight ship over there. And it's the bonds that are formed. It is not like your regular social media where you sort of passively interact with sort of a mass of unknown people. It is a really tight-knit, wonderful community. And it's diverse, not just in sort of a social justice-y identity politics way, although it is also that, but diversity of interests. You can get deep into conspiracy theories. You can get deep into biblical scriptures or biblical prophecy. People are praying for each other, sharing their life stories, but there's also meme threads. There's a big meme club over there, as well as the Canary Cry Foodies, the Canary Cry Gamers Guild. It's the place to be no matter who you are. Go to canarycry.community. It's a real URL. Do it. I forgot about that jingle.
There's a cat at the end, too. You forgot the cat.
Step on a cat, you said?
Yeah. You want to hear it again?
Yeah, sure. That's right. Dog lovers and cat lovers living in harmony. True coexistence.
Yes.
Okay, let's get back into the show. We should probably wake up.
Yes, it's wake up time.
Hey, yo, wake up.
Okay, so here we go. We're going to start out with the Wall Street Journal, and the headline is...
Hold on.
Okay.
Can't just jump into it.
Okay.
It's Latin for many.
Tick.
Now suck your blood. Now suck
Politics.
your
We
blood.
need a great reset.
Learn to use the dark side of the Force.
That was the first part of that was Emperor Palpatine, and the second was Klaus Schwab, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
the other way around.
I know. I was just being a silly
you're making
Billy.
You're making the joke. Okay.
Headline for this article: Built to rent suburbs are poised to spread across the United States
What?
like a virus.
What?
I added that last part. The future of, here we go. For some residents, the gated community in the Arizona desert is their first go at suburban living. The 222 houses have tile roofs, garages, and white fenced backyards where residents host barbecues and their dogs play. But these aren't forever homes or even starters. They are 1 and 2 bedroom rentals with rents starting at $1,420 a month, $1,420 a month. Subdivisions such as Christopher Todd communities on Happy Valley, located 30 miles outside Phoenix, were built for renters from the start. Owner and developer Todd Wood, a former organic food mogul, started his real estate company almost 5 years ago to seize on what he saw as an increasing demand for rental housing. Mr. Wood has now developed more than 2,000 rental houses around the greater Phoenix area. Investors have been buying up single-family houses to rent out for some time, typically in disparate bunches in communities where most people own their homes. Tenants may have absentee landlords. Built-to-rent developments, however, are entirely new subdivisions designed for renters. They are managed more like new apartment buildings with designated staff for repairs and maintenance. In the past few years, the model has taken off around Phoenix and elsewhere and is likely to become a dominant force in the rental housing market in the coming years, with implications for the communities that surround them and the nature of home ownership. Then it goes into just how crazy the single-family home market has been, and that's partially because of this shift. The 2030 agenda, as Klaus Schwab told us, by 2030, you will own nothing and be happy. Which, is just a beautiful way for Darth Vader to think of his subjects and how it just truly is a dark side of the Force attempt at understanding the regular human and what motivates them. I'm going to skip down just a little bit. Here we go. Some think a transition to rent won't mean an end to building wealth through suburban property ownership, which is opposite of what we're all thinking. But Christopher Potomi, executive director of the Terwilliger Center for Housing at the Urban Land Institute, sees potential in fractional ownership models, such as a neighborhood real estate investment trust. In these structures, people would own stock in companies that hold commercial and residential properties in their area. Quote, we need to be thinking more about different ways that people can still own the communities that they live in outside of the primary residence model, Mr. Potomi says. So, just to review the situation we are in through the pandemic, the Great Reset, the Build Back Better mindset that sort of ruined the economy through the pandemic, housing prices skyrocketing again. And for those professionals that I've been talking to, they don't think this is a bubble like we saw in 2008. They think this is just a new high watermark for real estate prices. And millennials and younger continue to get priced out of the market, mainly not because of regular individuals upgrading their homes or buying new homes, but there is a swath of these real estate companies just buying up whatever house they possibly can, oftentimes paying way over over market price just so they can win the bidding and force out any millennials trying to buy a house. But also they have basically unlimited funding to do this because the rental model is such a proven model that banks are just giving them whatever money they want, even if it's, 30 grand over asking price. So they're buying up everything, which is raising housing prices, further pushing out millennials and others from getting into the housing market. And here's Christopher Potomi saying, oh, don't worry. We're not sabotaging your ability to create lasting wealth by completely excluding you from the traditional American dream of home ownership and therefore a secure financial future. No. See, we'll be a real estate company. We'll own all the houses, force you to pay rent indefinitely, but you can purchase stock in our company. That's how you're going to build wealth, is by giving us more of your money. It's a perfect scheme. And for the relatively uninitiated millennials, as far as building wealth is concerned, I'm sure a lot of them are buying into this concept. The article goes on, new forms of ownership and investment could also give more renters a greater stake in local government and politics. Again, sort of leaning on the millennial sort of idea that getting involved in local politics is more important than anything. You know, you got to it's built in social justice. Don't worry. You won't own a thing, but you can still make a difference in your community. You just won't build any sort of lasting financial security in the process.
This sounds like it's even worse than timeshare.
It is worse than timeshare
because you can't actually go there and live. I mean, you can, but you would have one spot. You wouldn't have like this rotation vacationing.
Well,
anyway.
I mean, you're just a renter, basically. You just rent whatever house you want to live in. But the fact of the matter is, I mean, rental money. Look, we've all rented. I still rent. You rent. You got to do it until you can purchase something. But this is just disappearing the idea. I mean, we've already created a situation in which purchasing a home seems like an unattainable goal for so many in our generation and the generation beneath us. Of course, they're coming up to that age. But it's almost a social engineering shift. It's like a magician, you know, taking your attention with one hand while he pulls a fast one with the left hand or with the other hand. And that's what we're seeing here. It's like, hey, you love local government. You love getting involved in local politics and having a representation in your community. So don't look at the fact I'm taking away the classical idea of building wealth in a stable market of real estate and an ever increasing an asset of ever increasing value. No. Don't worry about that. Just throw all your money in a furnace forever, burn it to the gods of real estate, and don't worry. You can get involved in local politics. It'll be cool. Just let me continue with the article here for just a little bit. In some cases, you'll talk to local officials and they'll say, I don't really listen to the renters. They're not here that long. They're not invested in the community, says Catherine Levine Einstein, a Boston University professor of political science who has studied renter political representation. Quote, we didn't want to get into home ownership, says Joe Paul, a 29-year-old nutrition and lifestyle coach. Have you heard of any more nauseatingly of a millennial job than nutrition and lifestyle coach? He's also got an Instagram account. Go follow him. He and his wife, Allie, who works in fitness retail, relocated to a Christopher Todd community in Goodyear, Arizona. This past year, Mr. Paul says it was wanderlust and a love of the mountains that drew the couple and their dog from Milwaukee suburbs. This person does not exist. The description of this family is a conglomeration of an artificial intelligence that took data points from bajillions of millennials and created this fake couple as an example for this article. It continues. For now, the couple's financial goals are focused on paying down existing debt. Quote, we will still want to travel and don't want to have to maintain a house, Mr. Paul says. I mean, is this not obvious? This is pretty blatant, is it not?
It's pretty obvious to me.
Yeah.
I am in agreement with you.
And it goes on. It tries to convince us that these houses are very high quality, and that they've got nice things. They're made of
floors.
Vinyl floors.
The pinnacle of
vinyl
luxury.
floors. Yes, because there is one thing about this that I think they're missing about the millennial ideal is generally millennials kind of like the weird stuff, the idea of the cookie cutter,
oh my gosh,
copy and paste house in a suburb. That's a little bit more of a, and I say this word with love, it's more of a boomer tradition to have the sort of copy and paste. I won't even say boomer tradition. It's just sort of an indicator of the early American dream idea. So there you go.
Can I read this segment, this paragraph
you
here?
You may read it.
residents in some of these subdivisions are more likely to have dogs than children, which means doggy doors and poop-friendly artificial turf are common, says Mr. Hunter, the economist. Christopher Todd, for example, runs a 1-minute advertisement on YouTube that is narrated by a dog named Callie.
Oh, millennials love it.
Storage for my toys, she exclaims. By contrast, the addition of child-friendly amenities like above-ground pools or playground equipment may be restricted by rental leases at many developments.
Yeah.
Can't have pools?
This is
above-ground pools? I mean, come on.
This is a real